All right, guys, going to give you all an update. If you can hear my voice, I am sick again. So this makes twice in about a month. I missed Thanksgiving. My wife and I were both sick. We missed Thanksgiving on both sides of the family, and we missed Christmas on both sides of the family because we're sick again. We took our tests and they come up negative for the bad stuff. So I'm assuming it's a flu. But golly, I can't believe to be sick twice in like a month is amazing to me. And it's almost about the same type of sickness, like head congestion and that type of stuff. I had severe chills. I was running a fever. It wasn't a big fever, but like 100.2, I think was my average. But I feel, yesterday I felt okay. I mean, okay. And today I feel okay. But I'm still not 100%. My wife got it 2 days before I got it, and so she's already a lot better. So she's got a 2-day head start on me. But anyway, I know I should be getting a little bit better in the next couple of days, but I hate it. I hate being sick. I hate it. So it just puts me behind on everything. So I have not gotten anything done on Steve's car, so I haven't really done anything. I have stayed in the house and pretty much stayed home. So today I came out. I wanted to take my 55 out and drive it because it's been sitting in here for a week or 2 weeks at least. So I drove it down here to the bank and I drove it to the grocery store and parked it out in the parking lot right up there with everybody else and went in and did my stuff, shopping and stuff. So anyway, it's currently sitting out here in the driveway. Anyway, I've got the hood up on the truck. I'm going to show you guys something that's pretty interesting. I really thought something bad was happening to my square body engine. It's not. So I'll run you through that. But I wanted to give you all an update, tell you that I've been sick, and that's why you haven't seen any videos. But I wanted to tell you about some upcoming projects. And I'm actually on the hunt for another 55 project. So I'm going to be looking to you guys to see if anybody local, fairly local to Tulsa, might have a 4-door 55 for sale, but I'll get to more of that in here in just a second. So anyway, I guess we'll just go out here and go to the square body first. I need to get my 55 back in the garage. So I rebuilt the engine in this in the driveway about where my 55 setting. It was either a year or two ago. I've not had any problems at this truck. It doesn't leak a drop of oil on the ground, but for the past month or so, it's been sounding like it had a bottom end knock to it, so I was getting kind of bummed out. It still had awesome oil pressure. Also could smell antifreeze, and I found out my water neck is leaking. The reason is the housing is really bad pitted into there. But anyway, the knock sound ended up being this reproduction or remanufactured air conditioning compressor. It's amazing. That thing, I got all new air conditioning components on this car or on that truck, and that stupid remanufactured air conditioning compressor is clunking. So now I have to take it to a buddy's and have him evac it. And then I'm going to have to take the compressor down and exchange it. But I'm not going to mess with it until warm weather gets here because I don't need any air conditioning right now. So that's the last thing on my list. Transmission's still sliding on it. When if I get really into the gas, the tranny starts sliding a little bit. So it's okay just to drive it moderately. But I'm definitely going to have to overhaul that transmission. I was wanting to do that this winter, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, so that's the square body. My wife's 55 4-door, which is what I'm wanting to get started on as soon as Steve's car leaves. This thing, look, you can see how the grass has grown up around it. This thing is actually getting water in it. And this is supposed to be a waterproof cover, but it's apparently not. So I'm a little worried what I'm going to find when I take the cover off of that thing. So I'm glad I primered it before, when Steve's car got here. I had to put primer on it so it wouldn't rust because I knew I was going to be leaving it outside. But I do plan on getting on that after Steve's car is done. I did have an idea of building a Monte Carlo SS right after Steve's car leaves and sell it, and that was basically going to fund me a shop building. I'm going to buy a little enclosed carport with a garage door on the front. I'm just going to put it up myself, erect it myself, but I was going to put it out here in my fenced area. And the reason that I wanted to do this, I have enough parts to build another spare Monte Carlo Super Sport, a real deal SS, and I was going to just put it together and not paint anything and get it all put together as a runner driver and then sell it so somebody can decide what color they want to paint it and all that and do all that on their own. They'll have a project car, but the money that I would get out of that, being a Super Sport Monte Carlo runner and driver project car, it would pay for that metal building. And I was just going to do rock. I have a load of rock brought in, and I was going to spread it out myself to use for the floor, because there's no way I can afford a concrete slab out there. I wouldn't get enough money out of that car to do that, so that's always something I can do later anyway. But it would be nice to have that building over there, and even now for storage, or I could do my body work out there, my primer work and all that kind of stuff, even though I have a rock floor, you know what I mean? But so that was an idea I had, but anyway, I need to get the other Monte Carlo SS project car back over here, I should say, and I need to do a thorough inventory on all the stuff that the guy took the first time, make sure that I do have enough parts to build a second car. I think I do, but anyway, I'll have to look at it. Anyway, I have 5 Super Sport Monte Carlos that I had sold as a group to one guy, and then we ended up trading back. And the only car he took, the other 4 stayed here. The only car he took was a T-top fully loaded SS Monte Carlo 87. And I'd done the chassis on it. It's all blasted and painted and all new ball joints, air bushings, like the whole front end's rebuilt, all new seals and everything, brakes and everything in the rear. What else? I did all the rust repair in the body. The T-roof had rust. I fixed all that. I think I undercoated it. I did a bunch of work to it. Did like the first line of body work on the body shell and then put it in polyester primer, and then that's as far as I went. That's when I sold it. And anyway, we're supposed to get together here pretty soon to get the car over here. I just texted him a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, I want to keep that car. It's going to be an all original 87 SS T-top car, fully loaded with power windows, locks, tilt, cruise, power trunk, rear defog. I mean, pretty much everything. All original, down to the aluminum wheels and everything, all original car. But I want to keep it. But there's enough parts to build one more car. The other 3 are just parts cars. But anyway, that was the idea, was to throw it together and sell it, because if I don't have to paint anything, I can throw it together pretty quick. But so it still may happen. I don't know yet. But I do need to get that 87 body back over here, because there's a lot of totes and parts and pieces that went with that car. And I need that stuff back here to re-inventory and go through and see if I have everything, because I don't want to put something that I'm going to be needing on the 87, because that's going to be the really nice minty car with all the best parts and pieces I have here. So that is always up in the air. And no, I don't want to sell any Monte Carlo SS parts, because I want to build the cars first before I sell any parts, because I'm not going to sell something I may end up needing. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was I am looking for another 55 4-door project car, and I'm looking for a shell. I'm looking for just a body. It doesn't need an engine, a transmission. It doesn't need any glass. I don't even technically need the front clip, although I would need a hood. I have one fender. My friend Scott Smith gave me another fender. So I have a pair of fenders. I have lower fender extensions. I do need a splash apron, but I do know where one of those are, I think. But I would need a hood. But anyway, I'm looking for a 4-door body shell. And the reason is I have got enough parts to put together. I thought about just doing like a primered little hot rod out of it, like an old school hot rod. Kind of a throwback style build. And it's just going to be using all the old pitted chrome parts that I have here. I have another grill that's kind of nice. It has some pitting and headlight bezels and all that kind of stuff. I have all the dash parts. I have a 350 engine. I have a turbo 350 transmission. I've got a carburetor, a distributor. I've even got a pair of headers that are brand new in the box. So I have enough stuff to build another 55. I have a back window that was out of my wife's 55 four-door, and I also have the windshield out of her four-door. It has a little, you know, milking around the edges, but it's not terrible, but it's not broken or anything. So that's kind of the idea. And then I've got enough used windows, side windows here to put in it. But anyway, I thought somebody local might have something, local to Tulsa, Oklahoma, we'll say. If you could deliver, that would be even better. I don't care if it has a title. I have a title service agent I can mess with to try to get title done on it. But it's not something I'm going to be working on right now, and I'm looking for dirt cheap. I'm looking for something that somebody used for a parts car, for a two-door or something that is gutted, stripped out, because the only thing I really need is like the firewall back. A hood would be nice, but I can always find a hood. A deck lid would be nice too, but you know what I mean? I had a chassis give to me a few weeks back from the Veneta car show. A guy gave me a complete chassis, a roller chassis. So if you have a body and you don't even have a chassis, I would be interested in that too. I am not looking for a 55 four-door that would run and drive with putting a battery in it and rebuilding the carburetor and a gas tank and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking for a stripped out Hulk, like something that somebody's used for a parts car. I'm looking for cheap is what I'm telling you. And it'll be a channel build. It'll be built on this YouTube channel, but of course it'll be later after all the stuff's other stuff is done. And I may try to sneak it in here a little bit here and there like I usually do, you know, to kind of break up the boringness of doing the same car week after week after week. But anyway, that's what I'm looking for. And the reason that I thought about putting this on here and asking anybody if they had a four-door body shell, there was a guy I talked to that watches my videos, and this was about 2 years ago, and he said he had some four-door bodies that were pretty stripped out in a pasture. And I want to say it was in Stillwater, Oklahoma. But anyway, I don't have his phone number, and I don't even remember who it was. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking for, is something like that. So anyway, it'll be a full channel build, and kind of doing a throwback old school hot rod deal, but it's just going to be like a primered hot rod with Mexican blankets on the seats and that type of stuff. It's not going to be a full-blown restoration build or nothing like that. But anyway, I have more info and that type of stuff on it, but I don't want to go into it until I get the car here. But I've got so many extra parts built up now for 55 Chevy that it kind of makes sense to build another car. So that's kind of the idea, but that's not really anything I want to sell. I want to build it to keep it too, but I thought it'd just be better to go ahead and build a whole nother car as a primered little street car. I've got a nitrous kit. I've got like a small block flat top piston 350. I've got a air gap intake over there. I've got a set of headers. I mean, I got some stuff to make a, you know, a little 14 or 13 second street car. So that's kind of what I thought I would do, like I used to. I used to drag in a lot of four-door cars and just do the little bit of metal work and body work on them, put them in primer, throw some blankets on the seats, rewire them, all new brakes, new tires, get them up and running and driving. So that's kind of what I miss, because it used to go pretty quick doing it that way. When you don't got to mess with making stuff shiny and fancy, it goes kind of quick. But anyway, it has been extremely cold the last week or so. It has not been much fun, but that's where I have been, is sick again. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is go in and plug the GoPro into the computer to upload this video. And I'm going to pull my 55 in. I'm going to close the hood on the square body, and I'm going to go back in the house because I'm starting to shiver again. So if you have anything, comment below. Let me know. 55 four-door body-wise. I don't even need any glass. I don't need any of the stainless trim. I don't need none of that stuff. I have so much extra parts here in my attic and my shed and a spare bedroom I have in there. I've got enough to build most of a car. So anyway, thanks for watching.